Hola, bienvenidos. You're listening to the Good Expat, the podcast dedicated to helping you learn Spanish effectively, boost your confidence, and develop meaningful relationship with the locals so you can enjoy and make the most out of your new life in Spain. I'm your host, Coach Jaime, and in this episode, I'd like to share with you my 5 top tips to help you learn Spanish effectively using Duolingo. It sounds like, or it looks like every other day, every time I'm speaking to a client or potential client online, they tell me about the experience with Duolingo and how it's not working for them. I'm going to be reading off the screen here. And what have you tried in the past? Well, I'm working with a tutor and I tried Duolingo, but I couldn't get into it. So there was something missing there for this particular student. Then I've been doing Duolingo for a year and I'm still not on the present tense. So there's clearly a lack either of routine or understanding or putting things into action. I'll come back to this one here. This one, I've been using Duolingo to help to start, but I need a constructive method and human interaction. One more time, using Duolingo, but there was something missing there. And then we have here Mark, who's not happy with Duolingo and is looking for something better. And I said, what's missing? What do you mean? Would you mean something better? So I feel like I'm learning vocabulary and I'm being understood, but I cannot understand. And I said, you know what, Mark? I'm going to dedicate a podcast episode to help you. And I'm going to explain why Duolingo at times could be a good idea. It will be very easy for me to say, you know what, I'm a Spanish coach. You shouldn't use apps. So you should call me and I'll help you. But for example, in Mark's case, it makes sense to use Duolingo for now. So I believe that as an expat, you have a journey. Maybe you are over here where you're feeling stuck, you feel nervous, you feel disconnected. ¿Vale? Stuck using your Spanish, you feel nervous using it, you feel disconnected, and then you want to learn Spanish to use it in Spain, right? And to make the most of the opportunities. And then you have the ambition of becoming a good expat. Hopefully that's why you're listening this podcast over here. And what does that mean? A good expat was somebody who can show up with confidence in everyday situations, can have conversations about what they want, and they can participate in everyday life in Spain and feel proud for calling Spain home. And along this journey, there are steps, which are the main themes of this podcast, which are learning, mindset, and integration. So for anybody listening, okay, I'm ready. I want to learn. I want to build a mindset and integrate. But perhaps, like in Mark's case, he hasn't moved to Spain yet. He's sort of still in the process of arranging his visa. U.S. citizen looking into moving to Malaga. So it doesn't quite make sense perhaps for now to invest into getting that personalized support to help him create a routine. So it makes sense for him to do Duolingo. And I feel that despite you only using Duolingo, even in that moment, or another example before getting ahead, perhaps you just moved to Spain and you find it a bit too overwhelming to add something extra to your life, like going to lessons or investing on a professional because of you still busy getting your children to school, paperwork, the community. Maybe it's a bit too overwhelming. You have too much on your plate to commit 100% to learning Spanish and integrating. No? So maybe you still do Duolingo because it's kind of like a light process, like a light step, like an easy step. You're still moving towards that good expat direction, but you're not 100% committed, no, for now. No? So I still believe that there is an opportunity for you to make the most of your Duolingo learning experience. And I'm going to share with you 5 top tips, which I still share with my clients because I think they are essential for learning languages. And I want you to get you into the right mindset so you can complete your whole learning experience and you don't only rely in one source. I believe that Duolingo, it's like if you're learning a language, is like a well-balanced diet. You cannot survive eating only bananas and coconuts. Okay, if I'm stranded on an island, perhaps, of course, I could survive because that's all I've got available. But really and truly, if I want to have a healthy diet where I'm hitting all the macros, there are different sort of food categories that I need to sort of eat. Right. The same thing with languages. Just only learning vocabulary and grammar from this one source called Duolingo, I don't think it's enough. You need to pay attention to other elements, which are exactly the 5 elements that I'm going to be sharing with you in today's episode. Well, before I go ahead, I must admit that I'm feeling very comfortable now running this episode on my own, which I haven't done in a while. I've been having many guests on the Good Expat podcast, language coaches, life coaches. I'm doing another episode and I can feel much more sort of comfortable and confident here talking to you right here, right now. I just wanted to share with you before we go ahead. And before I go ahead, I would like to invite you that if you are enjoying this show, if you're excited about this show, it would be awesome if you could just like, comment, rate, and share. You have no idea how much it means for me to see that you are enjoying, that you find this content valuable. So any like, any comment, yes, I got it, I'm listening, it's all good. It'll be super appreciated. Huh? But chicos, without further ado, let's go with the 5 top tips to help you learn Spanish effectively using Duolingo. Tip number 1, I'd like you to take a second to connect with why you're using Duolingo and not using anything else, and why you want to learn Spanish, and what's your direction, and what's your vision, what's your intention. So this doesn't become it's not becoming like a mindless routine. I'm just doing this because everybody does it and I'm supposed to. No. Why? And connect. So if you ever feel too busy, too tired, and don't feel like showing up and keep on the streak, you are reminding yourself about your direction, why it is important for you, so you can keep coming back to the process of advancing and moving forward with your Spanish and integration. Now, on this process, on this journey, on this quick activity of sort of visualizing the reason for learning Spanish with Duolingo, decide how long you plan on using Duolingo. What's your plan? You want to use it just for 1 year, or it's only temporary while you get over this particular situation, or you feel a bit more sort of that you've arrived in Spain, or would you stop when you move to Spain? Also, think about what success looks like to you. We just read a comment from somebody who was saying that after using Duolingo for a year, they still couldn't talk in the present tense, routines and the most basic thing. So surely, what's the point of continue using Duolingo if after a year you're not on that level, no? So might as well explore other options that probably are helping you a bit better. So I want you to think, this is just more of a thinking and planning and visualizing activity. What does success look like? And this is exactly what I do with my clients in day 1 of our Spanish coaching program, with the vision planner activity, just to put this on paper so we are both on the same page and I can hold my clients accountable on their journey. If they ever feel a little bit down or like quitting and not showing up and stuff, I remind them of their intention and their big why. So step number 2, moving on. It's very important that you create an easy and simple routine. I can only assume that you're a busy professional. You're in Spain with your family. You want to take care of your health. There are many different aspects of yourself, and now it's time for you to welcome the student and to take this process of learning Spanish, even if it's with a free app. Take it seriously. You are a student, a Spanish student. You are a beginner, and I want you to see yourself like that, and there is a new part of you growing. So this is important because I don't want you to see Duolingo as a hobby. I want you to take it seriously. Once you connect it with your big why, no, but this is not a hobby anymore. And I'm saying here, if this is not a hobby, surely you should not use Duolingo in the toilet because it's not a distraction. When we do, if you're sitting down, that's when you're scrolling mindlessly on a feed, or you're just going blah blah blah, paying attention. No. I want you to have a routine, or decide when this is gonna happen, so there's a bit more structure in the process, and decide where it's gonna happen, right? What days are gonna happen of the weeks, how many, at what time, and how long. That's what a routine would look like. So you are really taking this seriously, and this is massive. This is gonna help you make the most of that learning experience. If you know that you are sitting down, you have your coffee, 20 minutes, for example. I'm doing this, right? And I'm gonna take it seriously. I'm gonna put time on my calendar to do this, and then I continue. And because if you see Duolingo as a hobby, if you feel like it, you do it. If you don't feel like it, you don't do it. Like watching a movie, no? It's a hobby. Maybe if you do, maybe yes, maybe no. But when it's a structure, you need to show up. And one more time, this is exactly what I help my clients with by helping them create a daily study plan that they can easily fit into their busy diary, and that helps them have that structure, that learning structure. Hey friend, do you want to know why you feel stuck and frustrated with your Spanish? If you do, I invite you to answer the 15 simple questions that you find on my online assessment, where you get a score in 3 different key areas: language skills, mindset, and integration. Then you receive a personalized report with detailed feedback on each area, helping you celebrate your strengths and pinpoint where you can improve. It's free and it only takes 1 minute. So to get started, check out the link on the description. Step number 3. So you have your vision, you're learning your grammar, you know exactly when it's happening. A big problem is not using what you're learning because you're not having conversation practice. A conversation practice isn't hola, ¿qué tal? Buenos días, bye. Can I have 2 tostadas, un café? No, that is everyday life. This is conversation practice. This is deciding to sit down with somebody for some time to practice. Practice is different to socializing. Practice, you go there with your notes, and maybe you stay quite some time around an area until you get it right. And you ask questions, you hear the other person, you stay on topic for quite some time until you internalize it. You can decide to do this practice in person or online. In person, you can go to an intercambio event if you already live in Spain. No, actually, even if you live abroad, you can find intercambio events, and you can really take the Duolingo experience to the next level, because you will be able to apply everything that you're learning, and you will feel the difference in a few weeks. You learn it, you apply it, you think about it, you internalize it, and you move on. And this creates a very good process. And of course, you can also find apps for doing this intercambio online, or like I was doing with another tutor. We were having an intercambio online. I was helping her with Spanish, and she was helping me with my new language. We were exchanging. It took me like 2 or 3 hours a week, half an hour her, half an hour me, and it worked perfect. But it was dedicated conversation practice. It's not chit chat, it's dedicated. And what I invite you here to think as well is to where it's going to happen, what days are going to happen, how many times are going to happen, and how long it's going to happen. As you can see here, there's a pattern here, because by creating this structure, this planning ahead, you don't really have to waste your time deciding whether if you feel like doing it or not. You've decided that I'm gonna go to this place once a week, twice a week, once a month, whatever it is, and I'm gonna be doing this. It's in your calendar, and you're committed to it. You're making a commitment with yourself. And this is what I call in my Spanish coaching program fluency training, where whatever my clients learned, we practice. We go back and forth. where it looks like, from the outside might look like a chit chat because it's very casual. We're talking about personal stuff, but we are on topic. We are on the units grammar, on the units vocabulary. We're going back and forth. And that person, and me, and you, and her, and them, we're changing but it's all on topic. It's all around what my student is currently learning, which is very, very important. So I get them to use what they're learning. And this is super powerful if you start using it as well. Okay, tip number 4 to make the most of your Duolingo learning experience: immersion. And this is getting closer to the language, to the culture. And you can, if you live in Spain, you can decide much more easily if you are already planning to move. But the easiest thing to do is to listen. There are other levels, which perhaps I'm not going to go into at the moment, to connect and to get closer to the culture and the language and the people and whatnot. But the easiest way to immerse yourself is with sounds. So you can still develop your ear. So eventually when you get to talk to somebody in person in a real situation, you've developed your ear because you've had listening training. Here, if you're watching this in YouTube, I'm going to share a card up in here around now that's going to direct you to a listening workshop that I did, where I go more into detail how to create a listening strategy. And if you're listening to this podcast, Spotify or Apple Podcasts, I'll put it on the description for you. And there I will help you decide how to create a listening strategy, so you can choose what to listen to, when to listen to, or what's the right mindset to have to approach the whole listening process. But it's super important that when you're using Duolingo, it's not here. You also need to surround yourself with Spanish sounds, so you open up your ear. And the last tip, this is the cherry on top, no? You're learning grammar and vocabulary with Duolingo. You're opening up your ear with sounds. You've already practiced it with somebody in a comfortable environment where you can go back and forth. And what's the other one? You create a routine to study, no? So there's a bit of a process. And now is show time. This is where you need to decide and choose and motivate yourself to get out there to the real world and to interact with your neighbors, to go to a market, to go to an event, and just talk, right? You don't know where the conversations are gonna take you, right? Because socializing, you might not be able to practice exactly what you've learned, but over time, you'll be able to pull in for what you're learning and get them to use it while you're socializing. But we cannot ignore this very important step. Because otherwise, what are we learning Spanish for? Spanish is not just between you and your app, or you and your coach, or you and your book, or you and your head. This is to be used to, and we use it, particularly here at the Good Expat. This is the main intention of learning Spanish. Just getting out there, connect, participate in your local community, and make the most out of all the opportunities that Spain has to offer, because you can negotiate, you can explain yourself in Espanol. And this is what I call within my coaching program, build your Spanish team. Just build a supportive network of locals that you can hang out, call, invite, and practice your Spanish. All right, pues mira, the conclusion. I invite you to apply these 5 ideas, and I can guarantee that you will have a much more successful learning experience, even if you're only using Duolingo for now. And how do I know that you will? Because I've just shared with you some ideas that I share with my paying coaching clients, which 100%. The vision, the structure, the conversation, the listening, and the socializing. Implementing the 5 simple steps that I share with you today might require you sitting down and creating a bit of a structure in your learning process, and perhaps might be a lot for you to plan on your own. So if you need me to help you and you need the support of a coach to help you not only learn the foundation of the Spanish language, but to also help you build the confidence to integrate and participate and create a community of locals to connect with in Spain, I invite you to check out the link in the description to go to and check out the page of my Spanish coaching program called Confident Spanish, where you can go there and read all about it. And if it resonates, you can apply to work with me. Hola chicos. Thank you for listening to today's episode of the Good Expat podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, the best way that you can show your support and to tell me that you're out there listening and supporting and that you're part of this new community is by liking, comment, rating, and even sharing with somebody that you think might enjoy this episode. ¿Vale? Hablamos muy pronto.